Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 3 of the Cave Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. Today I've got Hunter, cnels, and Jai, and Berg on the sound effects. Everybody give a hello.
Hey, hello. Thanks for having us.
What's up?
Howdy, howdy.
Alright, let's get into it. Question number 1. It's going to get real spicy. Let's give some pumpkin pie thoughts. I'll just go off the list I've got here. Start with Hunter.
I really agreed with Zane's take last week that it's like a once a year thing. If it's offered, maybe I'll have it. But there's some years I don't care to have it. It's not great. It's mid tier. And I also think that it needs to be heated up in the microwave with whipped cream on top. If you're gonna eat it. It's my spicy
The
take. I was hoping Fuzz was here to yell at that one, but that's my take on pumpkin pie.
Alright, cnels?
I'm not a fan of it. I think it's pretty gross. Would much rather have apple pie
Oh my
for
gosh!
Thanksgiving.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. It's just okay. If it's in
Yeah,
front of me, I'll eat it. I'll be happy. But if we're talking pies in general, it's not even in the pie Hall of Fame. Pumpkin pie is the Kirk Cousins of pumpkin pies
oh,
or pies. If there's nothing else, I'll take it. But it's not cracking my top 10.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I got behind those takes, except for the Kirk Cousins bit. Alright, Hunter, do you want to talk about any seafood you like?
Oh, I love salmon. Just like cedar plank grilled salmon is great. Crab, shrimp, just pretty much everything. I don't know. It's weird to me that people don't like seafood if you're not allergic.
I'm allergic, I will say that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I get sick when I eat it. That's why I don't like it.
We're salmon haters.
That's
Oh.
fair.
Yeah,
Uncultured.
I'm forced to hate it.
I
They
used
both
to-
got sick from fish sticks when they were kids, and they'll
No,
never
that's
eat fish
so
again.
not true.
This is what happened.
I had trout, and the trout left me soon after.
Oh,
I had
Damn.
salmon.
I've had salmon too, and it left me as well.
Well, I was fortunate enough to not be stricken with that curse. I like all types of fish, crab, calamari, shrimp is my favorite. Yeah, happy to have it.
yeah, I agree with both Tyler and Hubs. Salmon, trout, crab, shrimp, tuna, all that stuff. It's good, especially if you catch it yourself.
That's fair.
Then it's even better.
What's your preferred cooking method if you cut it yourself?
Probably just over a fire or on the barbecue.
Nice. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, so far we got pumpkin pie, no good, seafood, really good. Okay, let's get into the best ball draft number 1. You guys have kind of your favorite draft or least favorite draft. We definitely want to hear Hunter's rebuttal to the haters.
Yep.
Start with Hunter.
Okay. I will agree for the most part. My team is not a championship team. It's definitely like bottom third for sure. I will say that I think Kittle in the 5th is nice since it's full point PPR. I think Russ and Jordan Love were slandered. Not great, but I think they can be okay. 20 points a week from the QB position, I think, for my team. Trey Lance, kind of a throwaway. Yeah, I mean, I don't love my team. I think having Eckler, Pollard, and Stevenson is nice because they're all pass catching and it's full point PPR, but I don't think that's gonna
Yeah.
make up for the wide receiver depth on my team.
He
So
kind of punted everything
yeah.
except RB. But
I think in the 7th round where you took Rashad White, you probably should have grabbed a receiver right there.
Yeah.
Dotson could have been really nice just right after
Yeah,
Mike
probably should have
Williams.
done that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't hate Rashad White in general this year, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, he's good this year, I think too.
yeah, I think if I went wide receiver top heavy in the beginning and then took Rashad White,
yeah,
that's a good way to play it. I just kind of, I don't know. Sometimes, like, when you just try to take what you think the best player on the board is and not reach, it can mess you up. I feel like in best ball, you got to reach for the players you really want.
Yeah.
I forgot as well it was only one flex. I didn't even think of that. But did you have a favorite or least favorite draft other than maybe your own least favorite? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I agreed with a lot of what you guys said. I think Bobby's is weak. I mean, yeah, maybe Tyler's. I think that was another one that wasn't great.
Whoa there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Fuzzy taking Charbonnet super late as his RB2 is suspect. Like, his running back depth is not looking great.
Yeah, that's pretty dry.
I think I like his wide receiver prospects, but yeah, Charbonnet is your RB2. That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably get nothing on Algier. Fournette, who knows? Foreman, it's what, like a 1-3, 1-4. He's the starter. So
Yeah. But I think I like Connors the most. I think Jalen Hurts and Najee on the turn was super nice, and then get 3 more good receivers after that. Yeah, I really like that spot.
yeah, if I had been paying more attention, I should have taken Josh Allen. Like he took Jalen Hurts, and I wouldn't have gone Jamar Chase, T Higgins. But it's a different
Yeah.
issue.
I didn't even notice that.
It might work out. You have any thoughts, cnels?
Yeah, I think Clyde said he liked Kevin's draft, and I would have to agree with that. Especially the first 3 picks, Kels, Henry, and Allen. Getting your tight end and quarterback that early is nice, and then the 3 receivers he got, I think, can be really good too. They're not like bona fide wide receiver ones, but they're solid. And then getting McKinnon, I like a lot too in full point PPR. I think that's a good move.
Yeah, McKinnon could have a couple, 25 bombs. You just don't know when.
Yeah.
Good for best ball.
Then least favorite, I mean, yeah, Bobby's. The first part of Bobby's is good, and then it just kind of gets a little questionable from there. And then yeah, I didn't really notice Buzz's running backs until now. That's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Hubz's quarterbacks are
Dangerous.
suspect.
Very
Yeah,
dangerous.
spicy.
I will say, I'm keeping receipts here. I think Bobby was poo-pooing my team the first first podcast, and the last podcast he said how much he loves Brandon Cooks. So
Classic.
I don't know.
He loves it when it's on his team. And he's
Okay.
looking at it with his name.
Yeah, I actually do not hate
For
Brandon Cooks. He just
rosterbation.
always comes up. Yeah, exactly.
I think it's worth dropping a poll in the chat and see what people think. Hubs or Cat end of the year, more points. It seemed like the consensus least favorite teams.
Yeah, I'll probably get like a vote.
All right, Tyler, what thoughts do you have?
Well, clearly my team has caught a lot of flack, and I respect the opinions, I do, but you're all wrong.
Oh,
First of all, Garrett Wilson, we're adding Aaron Rodgers to the mix. Who was his quarterback last year? He had 4. Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Chris Streveler, Mike White.
hey,
He had 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns. You think he's going to go down from that? Chris
No.
Olave, who was his quarterback? Andy Dalton. He had 1,000 yards as the rookie. Now, yes, I went a little too heavy with wide receiver youth, and those two being my core, probably a little bit of a risk. But I am fine gambling on those 2 players, especially with Derek Carr going to New Orleans. I think both those players easily take a step forward. And I got Bijan. I mean, come on, Bijan. Oh, I also really liked getting Trevor Lawrence. And then Darren Waller. I think he's going to lead that team in targets.
yeah.
Other than his teams I don't really like. I mean, probably Bobby's. It's kind of an easy one to pick on, I guess.
Yeah.
Tim's, he's got Mahomes, but then his first 2 wide receivers are Godwin and Pittman. Kind of like for best ball, they're like decent floor players, but they're not going to have much of a ceiling. Something I noticed, but it's got some good running backs.
Yeah, he does have an interesting team. I mean, obviously reaching for Mahomes. And then Kenneth
Yeah.
Walker, there's just a slight question with Charbonnet. And you got James Cook, who's already getting a lot of flack. His team could turn sour, but hard to know. All right, we got a little bit of a troll question here. All right, would you rather have NASCAR join the league or be forced to remove Fuzz? Hunter, you start. I know you're a NASCAR fan.
Yeah. Was both an option?
I mean, I think that can be acceptable.
I would probably choose adding NASCAR. I mean, I love his words of wisdom, and I just think it would be really troll for him to be in the chat with Fuzz in there, just because Fuzz loves him so much.
That's a good point. He might even drop his own quotes just as responses, and that's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
hard to
every
rebuttal.
morning.
That might shut Fuzz up, yeah. All right, cnels, what do you got?
Probably have NASCAR join the league, just because either way we'd have an odd number. So
Yeah.
might as well just keep Fuzz and have that job join our league. Just have someone have a bye week each week or something. I don't know. We'd figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
sorry,
guess,
you can go.
no, I guess it's kind of assuming we'd still be at 12 magically. But that,
Somehow.
yeah. But
To me, the answer is obvious. We add NASCAR. Okay. He will be gone in a year. We're a rowdy bunch. He's a man of peace. He's not going to like the things we're talking about, especially when we aren't taking his gifts seriously.
All those poop emojis he's gonna get, he's not gonna like.
And I mean, for the betterment of the league, we might just collude against him.
Uh,
Just kidding.
honor the game. I could never. And he would probably be
Yeah,
a good friend of mine at this point.
he probably wouldn't last long in the chat.
Yeah.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
I actually thought he was a fake person for a while.
Yeah, I had to look him up as well.
Some of his quotes are fake. Some of them are just ridiculous, but good stuff. Okay, got a few trivia questions. Yeah, we'll just keep the order of hubz, cnels, jai. Number one, out of these wide receivers, who got the most touchdowns last year, 2022? DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, or Christian Kirk?
That would be Christian Kirk.
All right, cnels, you got an answer?
I'm gonna go with DK.
Okay, jai?
It's Kirk.
It is correct. It is Christian Kirk. He had 8. DJ Moore had 7. DK Metcalf had 6.
Yeah.
I am surprised cnels you didn't get this because, I mean, I was loving Christian Kirk on your team from afar, but I didn't have any of it.
Fun fact I heard on a podcast today: DJ Moore has less touchdowns in 5 seasons than Jamar Chase has in 2.
Ouch. That's crazy because DJ Moore is so good. Like the yards are there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't find the red zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Got another spicy one. Out of these RBs, who rushed for the most yards? Jonathan Taylor, Deontay Foreman, Ezekiel Elliott.
Start with me again.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Foreman.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Foreman as well.
I'll go Zeke.
All right. At number 1, it was Deontay Foreman with 914. Zeke 876. Jonathan Taylor 861. Deontay Foreman did pop off as everyone kind of hoped for the last few years, and he finally got a chance.
Yeah.
He had a couple 100-yard games.
Yeah.
He's
Alright.
still fairly young too. He
Yeah.
just like towards Achilles early in his career or something with the Texans.
Never really got a chance till now. Okay, okay, another question. We just got 5, so 3 more. We can reverse the order this time, so
Yeah,
you can pick last. Out of these QBs, who threw the most interceptions? Justin Fields, Patrick Mahomes, Carson Wentz.
I'm gonna go Wentz.
All right, cnels.
Uh,
If you answer,
what was the first one?
Oh, Fields, Mahomes,
Fields,
or
that's
Wentz.
right. I'm gonna go with Fields.
Okay.
I'll go Mahomes.
It was Mahomes with 12. Justin Fields somehow only threw 11, and Wentz, I don't know, only got 9. But that one's hard to believe.
Trick question.
You just got
9
Mahomes
is a
throwing
lot
the ball
for
the most.
Hunter is
Now
3
that I
for
think about it,
3.
Wentz didn't play a full season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's an interesting question. According to Keep Trade Cut, the site that we all know and love, love a little too much. Which of these 3 teams has the best wide receivers? Now, it's ranking the receivers on this team by their age and like how good they are, of course, everything considered. So it's not just how good they are this year. So the 3 teams are Jai, hubz, and cnels. We'll have Jai go first again.
Between us 3, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta think about you guys' teams.
This is a memory challenge as well.
I'll go with me.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with hubz.
Sure, I'll vote for myself.
All right. It's got Jai as the 5th best team, Hubs as the 7th, and cnels as the 10th.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm guessing it's not giving enough respect to Kupp and others, and it's wing
It's
Waddle
going off
and
youth.
Smith
All my players are
hugely.
very young.
Yeah. Yeah, Waddle and Smith are skewing that huge amount.
That's right. I forgot you have Waddle and Smith.
KTC is like, oh, Cup's really good, but he's like, what, 29?
Yeah.
So how many more years?
He might be 30 or 31. I'm trying to remember.
Is he that old?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he's in his 30s.
Even worse.
All right, last question. Out of these RBs, who had the most points and a half PPR? The 3 RBs are Miles Sanders, Kenneth Walker, Najee Harris.
I'll go.
Good.
I'll go Miles Sanders.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll go Miles Sanders as well.
I'll go Sanders.
You all correct. Miles Sanders had 13th, Najee Harris 14th, Kenneth Walker 16th. But you guys are pretty good on those.
Walker was the sneaky one because he didn't play a full season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple keep trade cut questions. Of course, this has no relevance to the site keep trade cut. We'll start with Hubs per usual. Keep trade cut CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave.
This one was a tough one. I chose to keep CeeDee, trade Waddle, and cut Olave. I love Olave, but I mean CeeDee is bona fide top 5 wide receiver every year, wide receiver 1 on his team. Waddle really good. You can probably just get great value for him if you trade him away. And Olave, love him, but yeah, he's just the weak link out of that.
Yeah, seeing CeeDee Lamb's name never feels good. cnels?
Yeah, I was gonna do keep CD, trade Olave, and then cut Waddle. Pretty easy to keep CD, and then the other two it was pretty tough. But I went with Olave just because he's a bit younger and he's the wide receiver 1 on that team. And Waddle's behind Hill, so and 2 is a big question mark. So I think I'd rather have Olave or trade Olave and then cut Waddle.
What about Tua as a question mark for you?
Just his injuries.
Yeah.
Like he's just 1 concussion away from just being done for his career.
That would be really sad, but it's
Yeah.
possible.
This one was tough for me. At first, I wanted to keep Jalen Waddle and trade CeeDee. But then I was like, CeeDee Lamb trading him? I'm probably only going to get Alec Pierce in 2 seconds.
Okay.
So I should probably keep him and trade Waddle. Yeah. And I'll cut Olave, unfortunately.
It's a tough one. Olave is someone I really like.
Yeah.
No, I'm huge on Olave, but, you know, it's a tough one.
All right, next one. I can kind of foresee Hub's answer, but Tony Pollard, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb.
This might be a surprise. I'm keeping Nick Chubb. I'm trading Pollard, and I'm cutting Najee.
Wow.
I think, like, Chubb isn't that much older than Pollard or Najee. I mean, Chubb's like 27, Pollard 25, Najee 24. Chubb has proven he's arguably the best rusher in the league, and he's going to get way more touches next year. I feel like if you wanted to win now, you'd hold on to Chubb for the next 2 years. Pollard, I love Pollard, but I think his value is pretty high right now. even coming off an injury. People expect him to be the lead back for Dallas, who's traditionally great with lead backs. Yeah, you could probably get a first for Pollard. And Najee, I think he's just a weak bell cow, in my opinion. I was not impressed with him last year, and even the year before. Like, he got all those touches, but I don't think he was that efficient. I don't know, just not a huge Najee fan compared to the others.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick Chubb's definitely proven himself a lot.
Yeah, Pollard has too, but it's who knows what's going on in Dallas. I mean, Zeke could get signed there tomorrow.
Oh gosh. Yeah, them not signing anyone has increased his value as much as it could
Yeah.
reach. So I guess you'd be selling high. What do you think, cnels?
I was gonna keep Najee and then trade Chubb and then cut Pollard. Pollard just coming off the injury, and then with Kellen Moore, their offensive coordinator, leaving, and Mike McCarthy taking over, just a lot of question marks.
That's a good
in
point.
that backfield. So just staying far away from it. And then trading Chubb, I think there's still value there, even though he's a bit older. And I'm pretty high on Najee. I think just the volume alone makes him pretty valuable.
Yeah, I like Najee, but I don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. I'm not confident in Kenny Pickett, at least not yet. He's got to prove it to me. So for me, I would keep Tony Pollard in this situation. I love the Cowboys offense. I would trade Nick Chubb and cut Najee, even though I kind of like Najee.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just, I think for me, Tony Pollard is like the biggest question mark. I just feel unsafe with Tony Pollard. Doesn't
Yeah.
feel right. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be a sneaky play, and it feels like you're playing him really confidently. It just feels
No,
wrong.
yeah, I see that.
But I know what you're saying. I see a lot of hype around him
Yeah.
this offseason, and sometimes it's just a bad omen. So I don't know.
Next
I do
Chase
like
Edmonds.
Pollard, but yeah, like as a Pollard owner, I don't know what I would trade him for. And who's willing to trade for him?
Put him on
It's
the
a tough
trade
one.
block. You know.
Yeah, that daily news.
Keep trade cut. Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett.
I can go first in this one.
Sure.
This one was tough. I feel like I would keep Mike Evans, trade Keenan Allen, and cut Tyler Lockett. Just because I drafted JSN in the age there, I feel like Tyler Lockett, this might be like his last year.
Yeah. I feel like he's got the lowest ceiling this year. I don't know.
And like Mike Evans, he just puts up 1,000 yards every year. Every year. It's consistent.
Yep.
He's had some pretty bad quarterbacks too, like before Brady.
Yeah, another bad quarterback year, but tough it out.
All right, what do you got, cnels?
Probably keep Lockett, trade Evans, and then cut Allen. Lockett was more just a homer pick than anything, but I think he's still got 2 or 3 good years left. Whether we keep him that long or not, I don't know, but I think he still has some left in the tank. And then, trading Evans, I think there's still value. Like Tyler said, just 1,000-yard season every year, no matter who's thrown to him. So that shouldn't change at all this year. And then, cutting Keenan Allen, just can't stay healthy. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how Mike Evans is so consistent, but people kind of think of him as boomer bust. He feels that way, but he's still consistent. I don't know.
yeah,
What do you think, Hubs?
I like what Jai said. Keeping Evans, just the consistency is always there. Even with what is it, Baker? I think Baker's starting for him or something. I think even with Baker, Evans can have a decent year. Trading Keenan, even though he's always open, I would move on from him. He's just too much of a headache. Super talented, just too much of a headache. Like I think last year, what he played like one quarter, got like 6 receptions and was out with a hamstring for like 12 weeks. I don't want to deal with that. And then sadly cut Lockett. It's just I don't think he'll be around much longer or like fantasy relevant. I think he can be effective on the Seahawks for a few more years, just being safety valve type guy. But he's not. I don't think he's gonna pop off for 2 tutty games like he does sometimes. So yeah, that was a battle of the geezers there. That was another tricky one.
yeah.
All right. There's some suspect QBs: Jordan Love, Kenny Pickett, Brock Purdy. Do you want to go first again, Jay?
Oh yeah, this one's easy. Definitely keeping Jordan Love. I trust that franchise, the Packers, to figure it out, even though we haven't seen much of him. I'm going to trade Purdy and cut Pickett. I mean, the Niners have such confidence in Purdy; they're not even going to bring Lance back. Pickett kind of had a rough first year. Could he turn it around? He's got some offensive weapons. I don't know. That's just the order I would rank them.
Yeah. Yeah, Brock Purdy is a big question mark this year. Probably boomer bust QB. What do you think, cnels?
Keep Jordan Love. Definitely, I think he'll be just fine in Green Bay. I'm a little biased because I have him in our dynasty league. So, and then trade Kenny Pickett and then cut Brock Purdy. Yeah, like you said, a lot of question marks with Purdy. Don't really think he's as good as people think. I think with people having some tape on him, he'll get figured out pretty quick. And his elbow is a big question mark.
Slanderer.
And then Pickett. I mean, I think he still has some value. Don't really know how good he'll be, but yeah.
Yeah.
I am definitely a fan of Love, so I'm keeping him. I'd probably trade Pickett. I don't know. Him and Brock are like on the same tier for me. I don't know what people think of them. Like I'd probably rather have Pickett just because who knows what's up with Brock's injury. So yeah, trading Pickett, try to get something out of him, and then just dropping Brock.
I'll say something. Brock Purdy has been far better than Jordan Love. Purdy's had a good stretch of games, and that elbow will heal
Yeah.
just fine. I think maybe I would keep Purdy, drop Jordan Love. He's done nothing.
Ooh.
He's terrible.
Yeah, Purdy is the most proven here. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is spicy. Love is just intriguing though.
I see.
Like the
Brock
mystery
Purdy
of
on that
Love.
Niners offense, though, he can cook.
Yeah.
I also just hate the Niners, so
What if they try to put Trey Lance in there? Start him.
There's no way. They better not. Just end the
Bob
Niners.
gonna be Sam
Bobcat said
Darnold.
what will happen there.
We'll,
I mean,
we'll get into
Shanahan's the
that.
kind of coach where you just follow the system. He keeps you in. They're a yak team. It's all yards after the catch. They have so many playmakers. Purdy proved that he could run that offense last year.
Yeah. I think with Trey Lance, they're gonna give him another chance. Just because they spent so much draft capital to get him. Didn't they trade like 2 first-round picks to get him?
I think it was 3.
Yeah, and those picks turn into like Waddle and Tyreek Hill or something, right? I
Yeah,
forget the
that's right.
details.
So I
Yikes.
think he'll get another chance, especially if Brock Purdy is still nursing his elbow. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I don't think like for the skill set players, it's gonna matter at all who's quarterback there. But yeah, the quarterback question in general is very interesting. It,
Yeah.
it could be Sam. What's his face?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah.
Yeah, if I was like a Brandon Ayuk owner, I would prefer Purdy, I think.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold can sling it. I don't know. All right, a few interesting tight ends here. Dalton Kincaid, George Kittle, Dallas Goddard. Do you want to start this one, Hubs?
Sure. Yeah. This one was kind of difficult for me too. These are some good questions. I chose to keep Kincaid, trade Kittle, and cut Dallas. I think Kincaid is just super intriguing. They drafted him for a reason to be like a slot type guy. Um, super young. Like tight ends are just so valuable in dynasty in general. Just I think we're switching to tight end premium here in the next couple years, so that's just having that like anchor for a long time, assuming he's gonna be good, is super valuable. Kittle, he's a household name. Still can get a bunch of value from him, especially if you're trading to a team that's trying to win it all. But he is a little long in the tooth. There's so many mouths to feed. And his injury history, every time I see Kittle, I kind of become physically ill, like when he's on my team. And Dallas Goedert, like I think he's really good, but there's so many mouths to feed on that team. Um, Heavy rushing team. Yeah, I think he's the odd man out for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. I would keep Goddard, trade Kittle, and cut Kincaid. The tight end position is so hard to predict in the NFL. We still haven't seen Kincaid play. I mean, Kyle Pitts. I mean, he had a really rough last year. Going for the future, he's still a hot commodity, but his stock has been plummeting. Tight end is just so hard to predict. So for me, keeping Dallas Goedert, it's still a high-powered offense. You still have Jalen Hurts. He was out most of last year. Yeah, kind of like what you said. Kittle's a hot name. You can trade him, and yeah, I would just cut the loss and cut Kincaid.
Hmm.
Just take the risk.
You think you could get? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I agree with Tyler. I would keep Goddard, trade Kittle, and then cut Kincaid. I feel like Kincaid's a little overrated, just because he's not proven, and then tight ends have never really done anything with Josh Allen at quarterback. So I don't see why that would change. And then, yeah, keeping Goddard just because he's in a really good offense with a really good quarterback. Um, and then, yeah, trading Kittle, I think he still has value. Still a pretty good offense, no matter who's back there throwing it. He did really good with Purdy. So I don't really think it matters who's back there. You're still going to get production from Kittle if he's healthy.
Yeah, I wonder if you could trade Kincaid almost for more than Kittle, Just kind of fresh off the draft.
Yeah,
So
you probably could, just being so young.
depending on the right buyer. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Zane's gonna hate this part.
Oh, this bridges into a good question. I'll have cnels start this one. Uh, any overrated 2023 rookies that come to mind? You got anything?
Uh, yeah, Kincaid. But I kind of already said all that. Bryce Young too. I think he's not really like hyped up at all, but I think he's just going to be like a average to above average quarterback in the NFL. Just his size is a bit worrisome, and I can't really think of any else right now.
I have one. Anthony Richardson.
Ooh,
Now, I love Anthony Richardson, but we've kind of done it to ourselves. We've all imagined how great he can be. Look at the athletic profile, look at the size, look at the runs. But 53% throwing accuracy with 1 year of starting. I don't know. NFL's a
Boom.
throwing league.
Roasted.
It's a swing
um,
play.
no, yeah. So I mean, like, he could be great. Well, we're talking about overrated. You know, we're thrusting in, we're drafting him on what he could be. He went what, I think 106 in our draft in single QB.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if he turns out to be 70-80% of what people think he could be, Clyde's getting a good deal, I think, especially with you know, rushing QBs what they are in fantasy right now. So that's just my take.
Yeah, I think also Clyde took Anthony Richardson pretty early just because there was rumors of Superflex, and if we went Superflex 3 years from now and he had a Richardson, his value would be a lot higher. But again,
yeah, that's
Oh
fair.
yeah.
you're still banking on him not being any kind of a bust. So yeah. All right.
I have one. I'm thinking A-Chain. That's how you pronounce his name, right?
Yeah.
Devon
18.
A-Chain. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I
Slanderer.
mean, his size bothers me. I think the speed is awesome, but there's still a huge backfield in front of him. He just doesn't feel like even like a first two down back guy. I think he'll be a great player in real life, like maybe some punt returns, like great gadget player, like a Tavon Austin type. I just don't see him being like a high end RB2 or anything like that at all in his career.
Slanderer.
Yeah, there's some slander there. I much preferred the Kendra Miller route, like the traditional bell cow. But we'll see.
I'll still trade for Kendra Miller if there's a real price.
I'll put him on the block. We'll talk.
Oh gosh, what's that worth? I'm still pretty bummed that you got that trade with, I think it was with Tyler, to get that first. I thought that I was gonna be able to get a first from, I don't remember who had like the 111, and then you took Kendra Miller. I was like, no.
He got Miller at 110.
Yeah,
I
because
was
Tyler,
hoping
you'd been
that
talking up
Kincaid fell
A-Chain.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, A-Chain. I love him as a player, but for fantasy, when you're in last place and you're rolling like all these dice, you're like, I can't go for running back. They don't last very long. And then a 185-pound running back. My heart says A-Chain, but my head said no.
A-Chain might be the next Naeem Hines, so hard to say. Let's see. Yeah, dark horse to win 2023. This is a good question. You can clap back at some haters too.
I got one queued up.
Sure.
So I think it's pretty obvious, I mean, to me at least, that Berg and Fuzzy are the two behemoths of the league. Connor's right there. I think right behind them as well. He's got a shot. But outside of that, you got, Zane, Hunter, Kelp. I think Bobby and Tim have a shot at making the playoffs as well. But for Dark Horse, I would say Hunter's team. I like Hunter's team quite a lot. When you're going against these big teams in the playoffs, you want some players that can pop off. He's got Herbert, who I think could be a top 5 QB this year. He's got Walker, Etienne, Metcalf, Ridley. He's got a great tight end in Hawkinson, Pollard, Ayuk. I think he's got a great starting lineup. The one thing that concerns me maybe is a little bit the depth.
Yeah.
Berg and Fuzzy just have crazy depth. It's just ridiculous. But for starting lineups, he's definitely got a shot.
Yeah. Fuzz making all the wide receiver acquisitions and Berg acquiring like 5 RBs. Their team really grew in depth. Yeah, the Hunter team will be scary, and I think the cnels as well.
I do wonder about Hubs' ceiling if he has like 2 Jags players, 2 Hawks players. Like you need those offenses to be pumping points, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might be limited.
Yeah, I just think for a starting lineup, you're kind of going boom bust against some of these big teams.
Yeah.
True. Let's see, cnels, what do you think?
Yeah, I would have to agree. Be Hubs as well. I like Herbert a lot. I like Walker a lot, and Metcalf. Then also there's a few rookies that could help him out later in the year. Charbonnet and Miller. Never count out those rookie running backs later in the year. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the semifinals or later. And then another dark horse, not really to make the championship, but could definitely surprise some people, is Kevin's team. I think a lot of good rookies on his team, especially with Gibbs and Najigba, or however you say his name. I think getting those 2 guys at 2 and 3 is like probably the best move of the draft. And yeah, just a lot of rookies that can make an instant impact. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he beat some people that would shock you.
Yeah, I've really liked Kevin's moves as well. With trading Jamar Chase. Honestly, my take, I think that Narwhal should take the same route. He could get a team like Kevin's from breaking down Justin Jefferson. Because, yeah, getting Jahmyr Gibbs and Jason, it's like, could be huge.
Yeah.
And there's so much hype around JSN. It's like, yeah. What do you think, Hubs?
I'll give Bobby's team some love. Yeah, Dak is nice. I mean, CMC arguably the 101 pick and redraft. I feel like David Montgomery could have a pretty big season if he steps into the Jamal Williams, role. I mean, he could easily have 10 touchdowns, like a start every week. AJ Brown could just have massive year. Pittman, I don't know about Pittman anymore. Brandon Cooks, he's super high on Brandon Cooks, so I'll take his word that he's going to be good. Khalil Herbert, I actually like a lot. I feel like he's a great value pick and redraft for sure. I think I like his team to make the playoffs, possibly like sneak into the 6th seed. He almost had it last season. And Kelp's team is good too. I think it's between like Kelp, Bobby, Tim, me, and I don't know if I'm missing someone for that 6 seed, 5 seed, 6 seed.
Yeah, I think it'll be close there, Tunis. And yeah, Bobby's team, it's getting flack, but I think of the hate more in like the longevity. I think that most people can agree that it's pretty good right now. Like if you really look at it, it's like just really top heavy. But just if CMC goes down, the ship is sinking. But if not, then it's really good.
Yeah, and I do like your team, Kelp. Like Swift. If Swift just has some sort of bounce back season, it could be very good for your team. I feel like AJ Dillon is just due for a pretty solid season. Yeah. James Cook, who knows? Could be really good.
Those are my 3 question mark RBs. This is kind of a coin flip. I hope I land on. But
Yeah, I'd rather have like a James Cook than an A Chain. Like James Cook is kind of small, but that's all right.
yeah, with James Cook, in my opinion, this is kind of the make or break year. If he puts up like, I don't know, 800 rushing yards, 300 receiving yards, kind of he's stuck, and that'll be his kind of his ceiling. He's not gonna have some crazy year if he doesn't do good this year, I think. Okay, favorite player on your team could be anybody. Start with cnels.
Oh, probably Cooper Kupp. Just like not even fantasy wise, but just football. Like one of my favorite football players. So that's why I was pretty happy to trade for him. And he's from Washington, so
Yeah.
got to give him kudos for that.
How many years do you give Cup in the NFL? As like
Oh,
relevant.
like relevant?
Yeah.
Probably like 2 or 3 to be on the safe side.
Yeah. He could definitely age well. Continue to age well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's about 3 more years.
He's got so much technical skill that goes well with age.
Yeah, and he's really good about not taking like big hits.
Mhm.
So I think that'll go a long ways too.
Yeah. All right, Jai, favorite player.
So I'm living in 2024, so everything goes according to plan. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh,
But if we're talking about current
Gosh.
roster, Jalen Waddle. I was a fan of him before I traded for him, so just a cool receiver.
Yeah. Hubs.
okay. I have 2. I'll go long-term favorite player, probably T.J. Hawkinson. It's kind of vanilla pick, but he's 26 years old. He's been in the league for going on his 5th year. Like tight end is so valuable. Seems like he was thriving in Minnesota last year when he got the trade. We're switching to tight end premium here, so long term, really loving that. This year, I think my favorite is probably Calvin Ridley.
Wow.
Just total mystery box. Like I felt really bad that he went through some mental health issues. Then he had the gambling stuff. I think it would be really cool to see him come back and put up like 1,000+ yards. And it's totally doable with Doug Peterson and T-Law, which I think T-Law is going to break out this year. So Ridley could be really sneaky good, like high-end wide receiver 2 plus.
Yeah.
But that's just this year. Like he's getting old. I kind of rented him out. I sold a first for him. But yeah, I'm excited.
So you said T.J. Hawkinson, Calvin Ridley, is your favorite players. They're both on the trade block. Also, why is your whole team on the trade block? Explain what's going on here.
It's a strategy. See,
I don't like it.
okay, here's the thing. When I put a player on the trade block, like 33% of the time, I get a Tim trade offer. So I mean,
It's a numbers game.
it's a numbers game, and I mean, I've had very very good dealings with Tim.
Where's my boo sound effect?
That works.
but most of it's trolling. But like everybody has a price.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
So Herbert on the trade block is just total smoke.
No, I
Well,
forgot he was on the trade block.
Oh, no.
I will say I did offer you Trevor Lawrence for Herbert straight up. What were your
Yeah,
thoughts?
Huh.
yeah, I actually think that's a pretty fair trade. I mean, it's a coin flip. It could go either way. I was tempted to take it. I think it's still pending, or not pending, but it's still proposed.
No, I withdrew it. I couldn't handle the suspense.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I think that is a fair trade. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
me
I do
too.
like Trevor Lawrence a lot. I think Herbert's slightly valued more on the old trade calculator, but I don't know. Yeah, I think I like T-Lock quite a bit.
Hey, you get the stack. You're really
Yeah.
all in.
KTC can't see the future.
Well, maybe I'll spice up the deal and we'll talk again.
Okay, I'll put him on the trade block again.
Great. Yeah, refresh the trade block. Yeah, I will ask Zane if there's admin powers for this to cleanse the trade block. I think everyone would
Oh,
love that. Just a trade block wipe.
Yeah.
So it's a blank slate.
So we can fill it back up again.
At least it's
Yep.
fresh. At least it's fresh.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's quite a few people that don't know they sub players up there.
Fresh bed buggers.
Fresh pit bugs.
Love some fresh bed bugs.
All right. So it's a good question. If you could trade for any player, who would it be? We start with hubz.
So my pick is Garrett Wilson. I think if you like Garrett Wilson a lot, trade for him now because he's going to be way more expensive after the season. Because I think he's going to have a monster year. I mean, I think he's like in Dynasty a top 5 receiver, but I feel like he can pay a discount for a premium receiver. I think it's like the value of getting him now just seems crazy. Like over like a Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, even like he could be up there next year in value. So get him now. I also feel the same way about Drake London or Chris Olave. Just get him now. So
Yeah. So you think Garrett Wilson, maybe you get him for the price of like I don't know Waddle or Amon Ra, but he should be going for Justin Jefferson value.
I feel like you could get him cheaper than
Even
Waddle,
cheaper. Interesting.
possibly. I feel like I think Cly owns him, so probably not. But
Well, there's no way.
yeah, I mean, I feel like in another league, you could
Yeah.
try to get Garrett Wilson. Just he's a Jet. It's not a sexy team. Some people might be down on Aaron Rodgers. I just think that Garrett Wilson is going to have an amazing career.
Well, how long will Aaron Rodgers be there, and who's going to
Um,
replace Aaron Rodgers?
2 years, and then I don't know if it matters. I mean, Jai brought it up earlier. There's 4 quarterbacks, and he had over 1,000 yards in his rookie season. I think he's QB proof, and by
And
that
He
time,
didn't have JJ numbers or Jamar numbers.
Those
Sure,
were
yeah,
bad quarterbacks.
very good
as
for
well.
a rookie though, and like just watching him, very impressed. And it's the Jets. Yeah, I mean, yeah, who knows? I think my point is, yeah, you probably have to pay quite a bit for Garrett Wilson, but if you want him now, get him next season. He's going to be really, really expensive.
Yeah. Definitely. Only 4 touchdowns too. It's like that can only go up, and then that'll
So,
skew his
yeah.
total points, and then yeah.
Yeah. Mine would be a boring answer, but it would be Justin Jefferson for obvious reasons. But he's kind of one of those players that you'd have to trade the farm for, and even then, is the owner really going to trade them? Who knows? I mean, Narwhals could be in a position where he maybe wants to rebuild. Maybe the right owner has the right deal for him, but you really got to piece that in. It's a long trade talk, I'm sure. The other player would probably be Olave. Really big Olave fan. I think he's really going to break out the next 2 years.
Agreed on that.
Yeah, Zane's not giving him away.
Yeah, I offered him.
I've knocked on that door.
I've
Yeah.
tried.
I tried to flip the 2026 cat pick and another cat first for Olave and wasn't budging. I can't blame him.
Yeah.
Fort Knox.
Yeah, I thought I might be able to do like 2 firsts for Olave and a second, but it's kind of a gamble on that. There's still mystery boxes. cnels. Who would you trade for?
Mine would probably be AJ Brown. He took off last year when he got to Philly. I think he's only going to get better as time goes on. Him and Jalen. And then for fantasy, I really like having like quarterback and receiver stacks. And I already have Jalen, so I feel like that would be a good pairing, Jalen and AJ.
Yeah.
And he's still pretty young too, so be able to have him for a while, but I have to try and pry him off Cat.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't think Cal would never trade him.
He talks about. He says he's his favorite player, so yeah, he definitely
Yeah.
a lot.
Probably pay too much.
If AJ Brown has like a bad year and then you bait him with some other player, there's a chance, right? But AJ Brown having a bad year would be tough.
Not on Cat's team. He won't.
Yeah.
Oh, AJ Brown will be a Brown next year, or a Bear next year.
Oh no.
One person I'll add. I've been trying to get George Pickens from Tim for months. He will not budge. I offered many seconds. Like, I don't know. He loves George Pickens, but I feel like George Pickens could be like a sneaky buy low. He's kind of that sophomore receiver. I don't know, like that not as many people talk about. I feel like people talk about Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Chris Olave, and then yeah, Pickens is kind of the odd man out.
Yeah, he's definitely slept on. I don't value him super high. I probably should value him higher.
Sounds like Tim really likes Pickens. Not going to give him up. I like that.
Yeah.
He traded a lot for him. Basically, Wandale in a second for Pickens. Which I thought. I mean, Wandale and Pickens, I think they're pretty close. So
I don't like that trade. It was a bad trade.
is that trade
I had
with
rookie
you?
fever.
Oh, that trade was with
Take it
Bird?
back in an instant.
Oh, you don't like it for you?
No,
Really?
it's not terrible, but I think I would take it back.
I
Yeah,
forget.
Wandale's still unproven. He didn't do too much because he got hurt and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas Pickens, he had some highlights in there. He showed some sparks.
Yeah, I guess if Pickens hit, then that would be a good third young receiver to round out your team. Waddle, DeVonta Smith, and Pickens. Pickens was good. Now it's Wandale. Okay. Yeah, biggest regret and favorite move. Let's just pair those. Chad, you want to go first? Of course, you don't have to answer.
Yeah. It was probably when I traded Javonte Williams to Fuzz. If you look closer at the deal, it was like Javonte and a second and something else for his first, Trey Lance and something else.
It was me.
No. Because
Different
initially
trade.
I traded him to Fuzz. Fuzz traded him back.
Ah.
But when you look at it closer, that's Fuzz's 112 for my 201. So I just moved up one pick.
Yeah.
Looking back, it was really dumb.
I thought you were saying you scammed me.
I didn't
was
really
like,
know
oh,
what I was
snap.
doing for the long term buying Lance. I was like, am I tanking? Am I contending? Not contending. You know, getting, if Lance would have hit, it could have been a lot better of a team this past year and maybe been like 102 instead. So that's probably my only one.
All right,
Besides the
I
Pickens
forget this. So Javonte went there and came back. What's the history
Yeah.
on that?
He's a
Just
boomerang.
look at the history. You'll see it.
Check the
It's a
archives.
strange history.
Devontae's just a pawn in Fuzzy's game.
Yeah.
No, I traded him. He got hurt, and Lance got hurt like the same week, and it was kind of funny. Just kind of canceled it out, and then I bought him back as he was hurt because Fuzz didn't want him while he was hurt. He's
Butt
contending.
scraps.
I see.
The amount of trades Trey Lance has been is actually egregious. 2.
Trey,
which is
Trey
too many.
Lance. Now that's bed bugs right there.
Trey
That's
Lance
bad
is the hot
bugs.
potato of the league.
It's terrible. And do you have a favorite move, Tyler?
I am happy with how Jonathan Taylor turned into Pickens, Walker, a first and a second. I think it's the one I'm happiest with.
Yeah. Both rookies were basically a hit or relative hit. Let's just bridge that into cnels. Cnels, is that your biggest regret? Let's see.
Well, that one and I would say biggest regret, but definitely would do it differently. We went back and restarted because I think I did that trade and the Cooper Kupp trade with Tyler in like the first 3 days of the league.
Yeah.
So just kind of like dumping all my picks right at the beginning. Definitely would have done it differently because didn't really know like what to think of draft picks or what their values were and stuff. But yeah, it'd probably be that. And then a favorite move probably would be drafting Jalen for like $8 or $9. That's one of the biggest steals of the auction.
Yeah, that was a steal.
Yeah,
Or
probably
was
the
it?
biggest
Or was it Deshaun for 12?
Ooh.
Just kidding.
And then, yeah, probably another draft regret or a regret for the draft would be I think I spent like 19 or 20 on Russ. So I was all over the place.
Yeah, everyone learned a lot from the draft. If we were to draft again,
Yeah.
it'd be crazy. Okay, Hubs. Regret? Favorite
Okay.
move?
Yeah, regret. I think it was like week 2 or 3. I traded Waddle away to the famous swindler.
Yeah.
I got like 2 seconds and a third.
We made the same trade, really.
I winced when I read that one.
Yeah, it was bad. I didn't really understand the values and stuff of picks and whatnot. Definitely looking back. I mean, I don't hate trading Waddle, but I would have preferred to get like a first out of him, or just
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes trading down, like trading Chris when he does the package deals, like it's bad.
I think the boys are getting resilient to the package trades.
It's
He's
Yeah.
getting less success.
No, I tell him
Yeah.
now, no packages.
Put up the
No
walls.
packages.
Lock
Yeah.
the gates. Yeah.
Then he sends a nice package, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of intrigued.
I mean, at the time it seemed okay, but looking back, would love to have Waddle right now. Plus, it's doubly bad because Waddle was involved in the trade for the 101, so Chris got Bijan. It's just, yeah, makes
Swindle
me ill.
after swindle.
Yeah, I mean, I think that trade is fine, but I think if he wanted the 101, he probably would have had to like trade Jamar Chase or something instead of Waddle. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a regret. You know, respect to him, but yeah, the swindler swindles. And then I think my favorite moments are just trading with Tim. I think the Alexander Madison thing was pretty funny. Like, I think I traded for him. I think I overpaid a little bit. And then the next day, the Dalvin Cook news came out that he was officially going to be released. And then I was hyping him up. I remember Berg was not liking it.
There's a lot of hyping up Madison, and then you just dumped him.
Yeah, propaganda. Then the next day, I traded him to Tim without thinking twice. Got the 201, and that turned into Kendra Miller. So that's probably my favorite chain of events. Yeah.
I gotta head out here, so we can go over the rest of the list another time. But
Sure.
it was good talking to you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Thanks
too.
for joining, Ty.
Good luck this next year.
See you, John.
Yep.
Have a good night. All right. Yeah, we can kind of speed through some of these questions, or we can go at your guys' pace. I'm good for whatever.
Yeah, we can go through them. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll go quick.
Sure. Dynasty process. We can go into this if we want to. You can kind of talk about your overall strategy. I think most people kind of know.
Yeah, sure. I mean, at this point, I don't really know what I'm doing that much. Still, like I put together a decent lineup to go into this year, so maybe I can make some noise. But I mean, I'm just trying to keep a balance of picks, youth. Trying not to get too many old people on there. I think if I went to rebuild, it would take quite a few years. So I'm trying to make some noise this year, next year.
Yeah, I agree with the kind of a sixth or fifth, sixth seed strategy because I mean, if you were to ask someone like Fuzz, he'd probably say either A, go all in, or B, just tear it down. And I think in between can be fine because I mean we've seen six seeds win in fantasy.
Yeah.
It's luck in the playoffs. So
Yeah, and it's engaging too. It's like
yeah.
I feel like tanking wouldn't be that much fun unless you're collecting a bunch of picks or something.
Unless
In
you're
the
a
meantime,
collector.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But like, no offense to Narwhals, but like, I feel bad for Narwhals. He's kind of in limbo.
Yeah, he needs to make a move.
Yeah.
Because he's not. I don't think he's really in that six seed contention. And so since you're
Yeah.
not, let's tear it down.
Imagine he put JJ on the trade block and then there's just a race.
That'd be exciting.
Oh, Chris would be. Oh, he'd be all over that.
I think. Yeah, I think that Cly would probably just spend some of that collection on him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
might as well.
that'd be crazy if you put him on the trade block.
Yeah. All right. What do you think, cnels?
I'd probably say I'm in win now mode, but kind of like forced myself into that spot by doing all those trades early on, getting rid of all my picks. But yeah, just kind of working with what I got, but it's still a solid team, so
Yeah. I'm excited for Brees Hall this year, personally.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Him and I really hope JT has a bounce back year.
Yeah.
Which I could see him and Anthony Richardson having being a pretty good duo in the backfield.
Mhm. Yeah, it could open up a lot for Jonathan Taylor running.
Yeah. Then I really liked getting DJ Moore. I think he'll have a pretty good year with Fields. I think he'll help Fields get to that next level.
Yeah, I like DJ Moore too.
Let's see here. When to rebuild? We kind of talked about that. How about you guys give like your top 3 teams for 2026? Who do you think will be in like the top 3?
2026.
Yeah, it's kind of projecting a few years out. I mean, I assume you'll have Cly up there, but
Yeah, I think.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No particular order. Like Cly is gonna be up there. I think Jai could potentially. It's kind of tough. I feel like the league is kind of top heavy with like really good win now teams and teams for the future. I think Chris and Berg's teams are still going to be relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Fuzz and Jai for sure. I think Jai, he can build a team, and Fuzz still has young players and he has good players. We know Fuzz will be active in building his team through the next
Oh yeah.
decade, so he'll have a good team.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And then Kevin too.
Oh yeah.
Kevin will have a really good team in 2026.
True.
What do you guys think about like Zane's team? He's got T. Higgins, Chris Olave, and Drake London right now.
Oh yeah, I think he'll be relevant for sure. Drake London and Olave are very nice.
Yeah, he's not one to make a lot of moves, but yeah, he has held some youth.
And Stroud. I like CJ Stroud a lot too.
Yeah, I like him more than Bryce Young.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think so. Just I don't know. Bryce Young, the size, I'm not a huge fan of.
I'm right on Bryce Young. I hope he can prove some people wrong. I don't know. I was reading some things about how the NFL is usually very good at gauging quarterback talent. I mean, they're not perfect, but when it comes to like ranking the quarterbacks and who goes first in the draft, usually they're better. So I'm just kind of going off that. Just have to
That's
see.
fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wonder like what weapons he's gonna have. Like I don't. So did they trade DJ Moore to acquire Bryce Young? Can't
Yeah.
remember how that went. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
DJ Moore would have been nice to have developing a new quarterback, but
That is not a
yeah, we'll
good
see.
receiving core. I think Adam Thielen will have to have a strong connection with Bryce Young. If not, yeah. You got DJ Chark, Terrace Marshall.
Jonathan Mingo. He
Oh,
could be
right,
good.
Mingo. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Marshall will be decent.
Mhm. I think Mingo is. Oh man, I think he's really overrated. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here. Oh yeah, who do you got? NFC Championship games and AFC Championship.
AFC Championship, probably Chiefs and Bengals again. I think Mahomes and Burrow are just in a whole nother league than everyone else, and it's gonna be really hard to stop in the playoffs. But probably have the Chiefs winning because they're the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then NFC is a lot tougher. I think there's definitely like a lot of dark horse wild card teams. But I'd probably go Seattle and Philly in the NFC Championship. Seattle winning, hopefully.
Nice. Gotta believe it.
And then, unfortunately, I don't know if they'd be good enough to beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, but I feel like it really all depends on the defense. I think the offense will be able to keep up with them, but just don't know if we'd be able to stop them.
I feel like the Hawks defense has a good secondary, right? So I could be good against Mahomes maybe, but like I feel like we can't stop the run still. They didn't really do anything yet that can stop the run.
Yeah,
So we'll struggle. Like we'll struggle against the Eagles. Like we're not going to beat them. There's no way. I don't see it, unless we just score an absurd amount of points. But I feel like we got crushed by the run all year long. That's not going to change.
Yeah, like just like everything would have to go right for us to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What do you think, Hubs?
I'll go kind of hot take here. I'm gonna go AFC, Kansas City, and Jets.
Ooh.
KC wins that game, and I'm gonna go Eagles Niners rematch. Eagles win, and then I think I'm gonna go Eagles over KC to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, what about the Jets specifically? You just big on Aaron Rodgers, or?
Yeah, and I mean that roster is really good. Both like they had offensive and defensive rookie of the years last year. Just great in general. Looked good. Just QB was the only issue. I don't know. I could just see Aaron Rodgers going there and lighting it up, and doing a Peyton Manning / Brady thing. Just going to a new team and just playing really well.
Yeah. I think
Or a
I'm
Russ thing.
a wrestling.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
it could be that. I think it's no in between. It's either a Russ
Yeah.
or a Peyton Manning.
I think I'm in the boat where I think it's gonna be a Russ thing, especially for fantasy
Oh.
purposes. Last year, Aaron Rodgers did not have a 20-point game in 4-point QB.
Huh.
I just think with Garrett Wilson and then Brees Hall, that offense is just gonna no problem moving. Like much better offense than Aaron Rodgers has had in a couple years.
Yeah, it's not like he had a lot of weapons last year, so.
Yeah, it's like he can only do so much with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
Lazard. People talk about
Yeah.
Lazard. I'm like, this is a
Christian Watson
no-name.
took forever to get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the Jets a lot this year, and I'll probably root for them.
Cool. Let's see. Hey, who's your guys' favorite fantasy podcast?
It's called the Pat Mayo Experience. I've been listening to him for like 10 years. It's a lot more straightforward. Just here are my rankings. This is who I'd play. He's not like super hard analytically, but he's also super into like DFS stuff, so he knows what he's talking about. Hold on, sorry, getting a call. But he does like sports betting stuff and all that, and it's just he's fun. He's a little more crass than like the fantasy footballers, which I love, but sometimes the fantasy footballers like that whole dad joke stuff kind of gets to me. They're really really good, but I can only take so much of it.
Definitely.
So yeah, the Pat Mayo Experience, very good.
I don't really have any fantasy ones. I don't really listen to any fantasy podcasts. I've tried listening to the fantasy footballers and just couldn't really get into it. But football podcast, I listen to Travis and Jason Kelsey. They have a podcast. That was actually pretty good and pretty funny to listen to. They don't talk about fantasy at all ever, but you get pretty good stories of like just stuff around the league. And those two guys are clowns, so they usually have some pretty funny stuff to say.
Yeah.
Is their pod pretty new, or when did they start that?
They started it like during the season last year. I don't know exactly when, but it's fairly new.
Okay. I've been meaning to check it out. I haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
It can be refreshing to listen to non-fantasy talk, just 'cause it's more about like football and people aren't freaking out about their numbers, and
Yeah.
more about football talent and who's got a good situation.
Yeah, I like podcasts that talk about like game flow and all that. Like, yeah.
One thing
Do you guys have favorites?
I mean, I do like the fantasy footballers. Lately, I've been listening a lot to the Flock Fantasy. He's got really good dynasty stuff. He does a lot of the daily stuff too. The DFS. I think he drafts like every day live. They're pretty fun to watch.
For me, it's the fantasy footballers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely goated.
Yeah. One thing I can't stand though is when like actual NFL commentators are talking about fantasy football. They're like, "Oh, you just if you have this guy in fantasy, you'll be thrilled." It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Stop. Just I swear, whenever they say that, they're way off or it just comes off as kind of cringy. But yeah. All right, I think that's everything. You guys have any closing thoughts?
No.
think so.
No. Looking forward to our next best ball. Doing
Yeah.
super flex, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I think it would be really cool to do variations, like
Yeah.
Superflex, and then I hope we do one like a scaled PPR. Tight end is 1.5, running back's 0.5, right? It could be
Yeah.
fun.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun. That sounds cool.
Yeah. All right, to close out, let's end with. Does anyone have any bit of slander? Berg, Hubs, or cnels? Just one little nugget.
Don't trade with Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he got 2 good receivers out of us. We'll never see again.
Yeah. That's when I knew he was #1 slanderer. And don't let him think that anyone else is the #1 slanderer. Or not slanderer, but
okay.
swindler.
Yeah. Also, I think another. I'll tack onto that. Have you noticed that Narwhals has made 4 trades, right? 2 of them were kind of nothing trades, Tim Patrick or something.
Yeah, for a 5th, right?
It's like whatever. And then the 2 big ones are with Fuzz. So Fuzz is not
Yeah.
only a swindler, he's got the connections, he'll whisper in your ear.
Yeah.
He'll get you to make the big move. And whether or not, I'm not going to say whether the trades are like good or not, but Fuzz can get the big deals with anybody.
He's relentless.
Yeah. You gotta look out. All right.
Well, my
cool.
slander comes back. My slander comes right back to the fake trade block. Don't like it. If you put a guy on the trade block,
Yeah.
if you put a guy on the trade block, you should have interest in trading him. I don't want this fake trade block stuff.
I just want to be wowed. I don't want to do
It's
any
fake.
work.
It's all fake. We don't trust you anymore.
I can't wait to hear what Fuzz thinks about that.
He loves
we
it.
we knew it was a strategy. We've talked before. We're like, we know this is some kind of game, but now it's the Tim's Pawn Shop numbers game. It makes total sense.
Oh yeah.
It just feels wrong.
What's wrong?
It's troll.
Yeah.
Gotta keep the chat going though.
There was a counter, and the bedbugs counter has worked out pretty well. So as long as Fuzz
Yeah.
drops the bedbug,
It's solid.
it kind of keeps people from trading for it. I think it works well.
We'll see about that.
Yep. All right. Thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, catch you guys next time.
Oh,
Yep.
my, yeah.